And welcome back to the Unfiltered Sports Weekly. I am here. I'm the Beebs. This is going to be quite a night.
Yeah, I'm here.
St. Joe in the hizzy.
Fellas, I made the mistake earlier of telling the Keb that there was a lot to talk about tonight. And I just thought maybe the first thing we should talk about was about the NBA finals. And that the Boston Celtics won, but Kev was giving us his take on what's more exciting than the NBA. Kev, you want to fill in the rest of the world on what's more exciting than the NBA?
Yeah, okay. So the NBA finals took place. Am I too loud? The NBA finals took place. It was the worst display of a professional sport in the history of not just the world, but the universe. I'm talking ever since the Big fucking Bang. Okay.
Wow.
It was not a good series. Boston won in a walk. They gave charity in game 4, just because they had to give Luka, something to go on. Boston is, I mean, they should have been playing Denver, but Denver lost. Unlike college football, if you win, you get in. So it just. And I made the comment earlier, and I stand beside it, that what is more exciting than watching the NBA? Fucking grass grow.
Wow.
Take a lesson from the hockey, which is almost anticlimactic, but at least Edmonton scored like 8 the other night. I thought they were going to get to 10, and yes, you got the Keb watching hockey.
Yeah. There's a lot of good sports on right now. But
No, I don't want. No. Hockey's not a good sport, but it's got a Florida team in it, so you got to watch. You got to represent.
Yeah, I mean, so I just wanted to let everybody know that. I mean, just did you hear the passion, Saint Joe? Did you hear the passion?
I heard something.
And that's spelled PASHUN. Passion.
I mean, it's not wrong. It's not wrong. The NBA, I think, proved its point.
Let's get something fucking straight. I'm never wrong.
Here we go. Here we go.
Okay?
Here we
I'm
go.
never wrong. Okay?
Never?
I might be misunderstood sometimes, but I'm never wrong. But anybody who wants to argue with me that doesn't live in Boston, that it was a good NBA finals, they're just a fucking moron.
Well, I mean, yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. There were some good moments there, but yeah, I think it just proves how crappy basketball is.
Oh, right now
And-
it's probably at its lowest point in 30 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Boston was head and shoulders above anybody. Now,
Oh,
I
it's clear.
give Dallas credit. They played well in order to get where they were, but they just proved that they are the team who we thought they were.
They're exactly who we thought.
So they have one whiny player on the team who can shoot but can't play defense. So
Which one
Yeah.
of them can play defense?
nobody plays defense.
All right.
So yeah, but good for Boston. They've good for I can say this. I'll say one good thing about it. Al I can't even say his name. Al
Horford.
Horford got his ring after
Where-
17 seasons.
Where he go to school?
Florida.
Yeah,
And didn't he play during like the year?
Yeah, he was on the back-to-back
years that they went
teams.
back-to-back?
He was on the back-to-back
Yeah.
teams. Yeah,
Him
Yeah,
and
so-
Joakim Noah.
he got his
Corey Brewer,
Yeah.
So good
Chris
for him.
Richard, Lee Murphy.
I think he's one of the 186 playoff games. That's a lot. That's a lot in order to get a ring. But hey, good for him. He got it. It was great. So there were some incredible stats that they threw out there at the end of it, just to say how much the Boston Celtics have sucked for the last long time. So, but hey, they got it, and it was good. And I'm glad. I'm glad they got it because you know what the best part about it is? We don't have to hear about the NBA for a long time now.
Right, Kev? You all right with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that. Really quickly, did you? I ran into a whiny bitch this week,
Oh boy. Okay.
and I ran into a whiny bitch that take my ball and go home.
Okay.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
The biggest thing
Rory McIlroy?
you remember when Biebs used to do this thing about the things that make him smile.
Okay.
This week. One
Yeah.
thing that made me smile is the U.S. Open was won by a fucking American. I don't give a fuck if he's a live player or whatever. It's not a PGA Tour event. It's a USGA event. Okay? It's not governed by the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
So all these people are like, they shouldn't be able to play in the majors. Well, guess what? The PGA Tour does not manage one of the majors. The biggest tournament that the PGA Tour manages is the Players' Championship right here. Okay?
Yeah.
So they could piss off. Okay, with all due respect to the Memorial. Players is bigger than Memorial. So those people are saying that could piss off. But the whiny bitch alert. And in this club is LeBron. He's in the whiny bitch club.
Yeah.
It's one.
Yeah.
Okay. And now he's got a friend. He's got a friend named
only got one friend?
named Rory McIlroy,
There's two.
who loses, gets in the car and drives away. Doesn't shake the hand. Now, rewind about a month ago, when a guy named Bryson DeChambeau lost by one stroke to Xander Schauffele in the PGA Championship. What happened there?
Oh, he hung around.
He hung around. He
And
hung around.
I think Rory McIlroy at this juncture is just like this petulant school child. You know what I mean? Like, if things don't go his way, he just kind of disappears, and you don't hear from him again until the next tournament. Or he'll have something to say about the PGA, or he'll be all pissed off because he didn't actually ever get an offer from Live Golf because they thought he was whiny, right? And so what ends up happening is when you miss two putts within 4 feet on the last 3 holes of the tournament, and all you had to do was make one.
I mean, is that choking? That's choking, right?
That is the definition of choking. The man hasn't won a.
I mean, that's a Blake Bortles shit.
That's it. Look, that's. I mean, aside from those 2 putts, Rory McIlroy had a great tournament.
Sure.
He should have been able to hold his head up high and said, look, besides those 2, I mean, they count as one stroke, those putts. They're one stroke. And that doesn't negate the other strokes that he took during the tournament that were so good. He played a fantastic tournament. If you take second in the U.S. Open, even though he did it in a painful fashion, I mean, he probably made $5 million for taking second. I don't know how much the second place.
I think the winner gets like 4.5.
Right. So your second place guy is like what, 2 million something.
I think it's like 3 million. Yeah.
But like here, to your point, Cab, it's really hard to win a golf tournament, and those were the toughest greens that I've seen in a long. I mean, they were so difficult.
But what was so painful about him losing?
And just in the fashion that he did. I mean, like you missed 2 putts within 4 feet, and that lost you the tournament. Now to DeChambeau, to Bryson's, he missed putts down the stretch too. No one talked about that. You know what I mean? Like
he hit like maybe 4 fairways. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he didn't play.
He
very
earned
well.
it.
His recovery was excellent, especially on 18 when he was under the tree.
Yeah,
and then he hits it into that waist area. They call it a trap, whatever.
Yeah.
And then to take that and hit it, what was it, 40 yards? I mean, pretty stiff.
But had Rory hit that last putt, they would have been tied.
Yep, they'd have been tied. They'd have gone to a playoff.
So,
do you know how the playoff works out in the U.S.
it's
Open?
an aggregate.
No, it's not.
It is an aggregate.
It
in
said
the US
aggregate on the
Open,
it
and
actually said aggregate on the TV when they were getting ready.
Okay,
to,
then they've changed it this year because
It's a-
as of last year, it was an 18-hole playoff.
oh yeah. Yep.
Yep.
No, I think you're right. I think it did change this year, but they said
Then
aggregate.
it just changed this year. Then
They said
Yeah.
aggregate on TV before they. So he was waiting around for a playoff, but at the same time,
didn't look like he was getting ready for one. Looked like he was watching TV in the locker room. To me,
yeah.
no, he
Yeah.
was watching TV in the score at the scorers table.
okay,
Yeah.
well, same difference.
Yeah.
because if you wanted to see who was getting ready for a playoff, rewind a month.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
he went to the
He went to the range.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is what Rory should have done. Look, hey, all that aside, to write your sad message on Twitter a couple days later or a day later about how I'm going to step away from golf for a few weeks and congratulations to Bryson. Why didn't you shake the man's freaking hand?
Well, he's got a little bit more going on in his life right now too.
Oh, that's true. I mean, he's
So,
got a
What
mess
they
going on.
canceled the divorce.
Well, yeah.
Did they?
Publicly they did. I mean, that's for show, I think. That's for show, meaning that yeah, we really don't know what's going on. We'll say we're gonna do this, but yeah, he's supposedly dating the chick that does the interviews.
That's awkward.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd give him
With all that going on, him playing, that well to be neck and neck at the end of a U.S. Open with all that stuff going on in his personal life, I don't know how he's doing it.
Yeah, I'd give him a little. I mean, I don't think it was as bad as everybody's making it out to be. And if he needs to step away from golf, then great. I mean, so be it.
No. I mean,
Here's
it
my
was
take on that. Boo fucking who.
Yeah, I mean, once again, I go back to what I've said many, many weeks ago. You're paid to do what you're paid to do, and if you can't do it up to what everybody, hey, look what happened to Scotty Scheffler. Hey, +8. Good job, buddy. You didn't play well enough to win anything and do what you did to do. So guess what? You're not winning a lot of money this week because you didn't do as good as you're paid to do.
still got paid though.
Sure,
Cut.
sure. He
Probably
did.
paid for his trip. That was about
Sure.
it.
Call me crazy, St. John. I don't think Scheffler's hurting for any cash.
I don't think he is either. I don't
You
think
know-
he is either. But
All right,
you know
let's
what?
get into this. Speaking of not hurting for cash,
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah,
Here we go.
yeah. You want to talk about a whiny bitch that is got a real big smile on her face? Yeah. Do you see that picture of Trevor's wife, Trevor Lawrence's wife lately? Yeah, grinning ear to ear. Yeah, yeah,
sometimes I can't tell them apart.
yeah. That was a tweet that came back out recently. Did you see that where he was somebody kept on talking about him, and I think the guy's name was at slapping tits, and he said, "Stop sending me dick pics. I'm a dude." it's like that's one of Trevor's all-time greatest tweets or whatever. That's awesome. But,
For those of you that are watching and are not commenting, we are talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars have done it again. They have made, just great decision after great decision. It all started with R.J. Soward when they drafted him. What a bust that guy was. Then what did they do? They fire a coach in 2002 named Tom Coughlin. What does he do? He goes to the New York Giants and wins 2 Super Bowls. That was a fucking good idea. Then in 2017, they have one good season. They extend a guy named Blake Bortles after that season. Guess what? 7 seasons later, he's out of football. So then, and I love this term. You guys know I love this term. Then they draft, in 2021, they draft generational talent.
that's right.
Trevor Lawrence.
That's right.
And had a good season, 9-8, made the playoffs, won a playoff game down 8-0. and came back and won. And then last year started off the season 8-3 and missed the playoffs. How do you do that? Man, you come down here to Jacksonville, we will teach you how to fucking do that. We do it over and over and over and fucking over again. And what does he get for that? He gets a 55 or 200, what is it? 5-year, $250 million contract?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, yeah.
That's fucking
He
ridiculous.
becomes the highest paid quarterback in the. Well, let's talk about that. So technically,
You know the details of the deal.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just see $55 million a year and I just start bitching.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you know the details of the
technically,
deal. So let us know
on,
that.
on paper, he's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL at $55 million a year, beating out Joe Burrow, right? But I still have to give it to Patrick Mahomes as being I would say the highest paid quarterback in the NFL due to the fact that he signed a 10-year contract. I still got to put Mahomes in front of Trevor Lawrence being the top paid quarterback simply because of the 10-year contract.
Now, I listen to Nailed It a lot. Okay. I listen every fucking week. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know
I appreciate that.
your love for lists. And I wonder in front of you if you have a list.
No, I don't. I don't.
Or if anybody, beeps is real quick on the Google. We found that out on Refiltered. If anybody could come up with the top 10 or top paid quarterbacks.
So currently. I can probably I'm without a list. I could
because I know per year Mahomes probably isn't in the top 10.
He's not in the top 10 because with the 10-year, he had a 500. He'd be around $50 million a year because he 10 years, $500 million contract that he did. But he did. Hang on, let me see if I can do it because he renegotiated his deal so he'd make him down to 50 somewhere around there.
I don't think he's in. I think he's like 48.
So here's what it is. So Trevor Lawrence will now be number one at $55 million a year with 142 guaranteed, which I'm going to come back to that. But
he's tied for number one.
Well, technically he's number one because there's with the guaranteed money and a little bit more, he beats out Joe Burrow by just the technicalities of it, which is crazy. But because he got more guaranteed money than Joe Burrow did, so he would be number one.
They gave more perks too. They gave him a lifetime membership to Supercuts.
They did, you know what they did? Here's what they did: they made him a lifetime Waffle House franchisee owner.
Oh yeah, how nice.
Yeah, maybe he can teach him some good fucking service.
Scattered and manners, baby. So that makes Joe Burrow number two. So right behind there and he is one smooth motherfucker, man. Did you see him with the glasses and the turtleneck oh man, he's a good that kid.
Who?
Joe Burrow.
Okay. You mean Macaulay Culkin?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he looked like. But
couldn't help it.
Joe Burrow number two. Then behind Burrow, recently I gotta think that Herbert has jumped up to be number three.
What about Jalen Hurts?
Nope.
Then it's Lamar. If it's not, then it's got to be Lamar.
No, it's probably Kirk Cousins.
Nope.
Okay, so it's not Jalen Hurts. It's not Herbert. Is it Kyler Murray?
Nope.
Wow.
You guys are splashing all around.
It's not Kirk Cousins.
You guys might have forgotten that Jared Goff signed a new contract.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So Jared Goff did just... Okay, so I was thinking who else just recently...
There's another fucking guy that sucks.
Jared Goff. Okay, so Jared Goff. Then is it Herbert?
Yep, Goff,
then
Herbert.
Then it's got to be Hurts after... It's either Hurts or Lamar.
It's Lamar.
Okay, so Lamar... So that's top five, right?
Starts getting a little dicey after that. It's hard. It's kind of, I would guess it's hard to get the order right after that.
So then it's got to, who is Hurts then after that?
Hurts is 6.
Hurts is 6. Cousins has got to be up there somewhere.
He's 9th, tied for
He's 9th? Cousins is 9th, okay.
Aaron Rodgers?
Not even on the list.
No, because he had a 2-year contract.
It's not Matt Stafford, is it?
No.
Kyler
Not even
Murray.
on the list. Kyler Murray's 7. Mhm.
Kyler Murray 7. Okay.
Barely.
Boy, who's 8 and 10? That's gonna be.
Well, it's not Dak.
Is it Dak?
No, it's not. Dak ain't got paid.
No, because he hasn't worked his contract. He hasn't reworked the contract. I don't think.
Dak got Dak. Is it Deshaun Watson?
Oh, that's
Yes.
it. Deshaun Watson.
Number 8.
Yep.
There's
And
two
then
players at 9.
There's 2 players at 9.
Cousins, he already named. Who's the other one?
Oh, somebody's tied with Cousins at 180 some million.
Is it
45
Mahomes?
million a year.
Is it
It's
Mahomes?
Mahomes.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
number
okay.
number 11 is Josh Allen, which is unbelievable to me.
How far? Well, Buffalo isn't.
Well,
spilling
wait, who's
the
10?
money.
Oh, that's why, because they tie it and then
Right.
number 11. I gotcha. Okay.
How far down the list is Baker Mayfield?
What did he sign for?
I mean, a pretty good amount.
I only have the top 11.
He signed
Okay.
for he signed only
30 million. It was like 30
he-
million.
Yeah, he only signed for a couple of years or something though. So it's that's what makes it,
Probably more
Yeah.
guaranteed money on that type of deal.
yeah. I mean, but those are the I think those are the kind of deals that you should see probably more and more of. But I mean, so here's my question, right? So this is really a phantom contract right now because he's playing underneath his original rookie contract. So he gets what? Kev? 9, 10.
Actually, I think since they picked up the option this year, he gets like 25 million.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know year 5 that goes up a little bit because they get X amount of money when their options picked up.
Okay. So let's say
Yeah,
he's getting
so-
in the 20 millions on his 5th year option. Okay. So right now this contract is on paper. He's assigned this extended contract, but it's really not real money. So what happens if he's got 2 years to go and it comes to this point when day 1 he let's just say he doesn't pan out in these next 2 years. And the Jacksonville Jaguars come to the point before they could pay him a penny of that 148 million or whatever it is that's guaranteed. Could they potentially get rid of Trevor Lawrence even though he signed this
You say, like,
gigantic
release him?
contract?
You think they could release him?
I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that. Can they unload him to somebody with this new contract that they just extended him to?
I don't know. The smart thing to do would be to trade him to see if you can get something for him. But the Jaguars don't do anything that's smart, so they would probably just cut him in what we call being left witched.
Right, dead money.
Let him go through
Kinda
the
like the
entire
Broncos. Oh my God.
entire training camp and then just cut him. But I think if the Jags season were to go south before you saw Lawrence going anywhere, you would see coaches go and GMs go
Yeah.
before you saw players go. You
Yeah.
know, because I think, especially the ownership, I think, they've kind of made a, deal, or a, they've committed to Trevor, and saying, hey, look, you're the Jaguars quarterback for, this generation, And the Jaguars really haven't done that with a quarterback since David Garrard. I mean, Bortles was meh,
So let me ask you this, because both of you guys seem to sound like it's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he's earned it.
What would he have? What would he have to do to earn it? That's my question. Win a
Okay,
Super Bowl or
No, not drop the fucking football, 7 times a fucking game.
Right.
Make good decisions. Don't throw it to the other. But you're talking about a quarterback that has almost as many interceptions this year as he did touchdowns. You know, so, and because of that, we're rewarding him with $55 million. So he doesn't have like in every other sport, you have contract years. to where people play their ass off. I mean, even the NFL, people play their ass off in a contract year to get a new contract. And they want to get paid. Well, here comes Trevor. He's a generational talent, and really hasn't had. I mean, he's good, but is he, freaking Tom Brady? No.
I
Is he
mean,
Mahomes? Is he even? Who's better? Who's better, Kyler Murray or Trevor Lawrence?
I don't know.
I mean,
For what he gives you, maybe Kyler
That's-
Murray, because he can run around. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
it.
well,
Trevor was supposed to be able to do that too. He did it all over David Clemson, right?
Yeah.
Who was better last year, Trevor Lawrence or C.J. Stroud?
CJ Stroud, 100%.
Okay, who was better last year, Trevor Lawrence or Baker Mayfield?
Don't know.
Baker.
You think? Better
Who was
stats. Yeah.
Who was better last year, Trevor Lawrence or Tua Tagovailoa?
Tua.
Tua.
Now is Tua good because he's got a stacked receiver core? Probably.
Maybe.
If I had Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, I'd throw the ball a lot too. But I mean, which quarterback was Trevor better than last year? Daniel Jones?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
The previous year, he was for several weeks the number one scoring fantasy quarterback in the league.
He was, and to Trevor's credit, and I will give him this, he was hurt last year. And that's on the organization because we didn't have a viable backup quarterback so he could sit out games because we were one game away from the playoffs. So but now we've got a viable backup quarterback. You can say what you want about Mac Jones in New England. I've watched some OTAs and minicamp. I mean, Mac Jones looks fine to me. I think he might have been misused. He looks more like the quarterback that he was at Alabama, or the more that he was his rookie season. When they kind of let him go as a backup. I don't know how much he can learn from Trevor Lawrence because they came out at the same time. They've got the same amount of NFL experience. Granted, Trevor has, I don't even think Trevor has more championship experience than him. I mean, he was at Clemson, but the fucking Mac Jones went to Alabama. Who's got more championship experience than that? Certainly not anybody who went to Florida. Not in this decade.
I'm right there with you. I think, yeah, I'm right there with you. I just don't. I think if he goes to the playoffs, and I would think if he goes to the AFC Championship, I think he's doing well. But
I think that's all going to depend on the players that they have around him.
Here's the thing, though, and here's the thing that the Jags got going for him. The core of their offense is locked up for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So they do have that. So he has the ability to perform because Etienne, Ingram, Kirk, Gabe, they just brought in Gabe Davis. Those guys they're in contract. And then they just have who's the guy they drafted?
Brian Thomas.
Yeah, Brian Thomas. He could be good. So he has the players around him to be good and to put up some yards.
Let's address the reason why he was injured in the first place. And that's
the offensive line.
The offensive line wasn't. I mean, now we did draft to protect a little bit this year. What was the guy's name that we drafted first?
Brian Thomas.
Oh, was that the receiver? I thought we went and got a
the lineman was second round. The same out of LSU.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well,
his name escapes me right now.
What have we done to change that?
Well, you're going to get a fully healthy Cam Robinson, who was hurt all last year. That's why Walker Little, and rewind a couple of episodes when I went off on Walker Little. so Walker Little had to play here, there. He didn't have a dedicated spot. He had to play guard sometimes. He had to play right tackle or left tackle. I know there's a contingent of people out there that love to say that we lost something when Juwan Taylor went to the Chiefs. All you had to do is watch the Chiefs Lions first game last year and see that we're not missing Juwan Taylor at all. I mean, he's the most flagged tackle in the NFL by far. So, but so it was kind of like a hodgepodge. The one thing this year for the beginning of the year, they're going to be healthy. And then last year, I don't know if you remember, we brought in Ezra Cleveland. He's a veteran lineman. And he'll slow that up. So I think, but yeah, to your point, Beebs, the offensive line was horrible. That's why Trevor got hurt, because I couldn't keep people off of him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that also says something to him being able to throw accurately too. I mean, that's the other kind of thing that I don't think people think about as much. Granted, at Clemson, he could run all over the place and still throw the ball. And 2 years ago, he seemed to be really good on the move a little bit, but he's kind of looking more like he wants to just be in the pocket now. That's what I mean. Like, he doesn't run as well as I thought he, used to, and as well as I thought he was going to. That's for sure. But when you step into the NFL, it's a much faster league, than the NCAA. So I guess that's probably why you see a guy who looked fast in college look not so fast in the pros, right? So
he's
really,
had enough time to adjust, though. He should be fine. He's had enough time.
really, I just think this is the year that's going to tell us everything that we need to know about whether or not that was a waste of money or not. But it's too late now. Kind of like what you guys are saying. So
they made their decision, so they got to stick with it now. But they'll figure it out. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But
okay. Well, moving on to baseball. We have some friends in the studio who will be very interested in this next part, because the other night, Grimace threw out the first pitch for the New York Mets, and ever since then, the Mets have not lost. It has been 7 games now in a row that they've won after Grimace threw out the first pitch.
did he throw it to the hamburger?
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Kev, because you're going to know this right off the top of your head. Okay. Even with 7 wins in a row, what is their record?
Bad. I think 5 or 6 games under 500.
Yeah. So
I mean, they're jockeying with the Nationals for third place.
I just look at that team and I think, if I was Pete Alonso, I would start wondering if I'd wasted my career. Right?
They're 3 games under 500. Sorry.
I mean, because Pete Alonso's a good player, right? Mm-hmm. You watch him play; he's a good hitter. He can play out. He can play defense. That kind of thing. I start to wonder who else is on that team that's starting to ask the question, like, was it really worth the money to come here?
Well, they're big money players. They all traded away. Scherzer, Verlander last year. They traded them all away. I mean, the only big money guys that they really have are Pete Alonso, Sterling Marte. Brandon.
Well, there's 2 names right there. I wonder if they're starting to ask questions.
I think the Mets are going to be sellers at the trade deadline.
I bet Pete Alonso goes somewhere, right?
I think he's going to go across town.
You think he's going to be a Yankee, huh?
I think the Yankees are World Series or bust. I think if they don't make it, Aaron Boone's getting fired. I think Cashman's getting fired.
I think they just lost the series to the Sox.
Yeah, they're.
Well, now the Sox are actually looking okay for the wild card if they keep playing the way they are. But
it's a long time, man.
Yeah, long.
We got 100 games to go.
But they need hitting. I would say going after a guy like Pete Alonso at the trade deadline might get them some runs.
I think Pete Alonso in Boston would be, match. I mean, you got a short Porsche Green Monster, which you got to hit it high, but still, it's really not that far.
Right.
I think that bodes well. I don't know what Boston would have to give up to get him, though. Probably,
Prospects, probably.
yeah. I mean, but do you have him?
They do, and they don't need to be getting rid of any of their pitchers. I can tell you that right now.
You know,
They need
I
to be
mean,
keeping that group of guys together. But
right.
Boston's always got a prospect or two kind of tucked away over there in Pawtucket that nobody really talks about until it's time. But
But I think there. I don't think there is a underachieving team more than the New York Mets. You know, I
yeah,
think
I
that
mean,
just if I were a Mets fan, I would just have to shoot myself in the forehead. You know, because number one, you're and who's the guy that Frank always calls McFeeble? I forget his name. Jeff Mc something. McGrimace. Yeah, he sucks too. And they keep, what the Mets do is they invest in these people that aren't good, and I mean, the two best players of the team are Pete Alonso, go Gators, and Diaz, the closer. Those are the two best players on the team.
well, on the flip side of things, like I said, the Red Sox are doing better. How are the Braves doing? I've been keeping up with them.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting some offense. Offense is coming around. Austin Riley. I bitched about him enough, and he's back. He hit 3 home runs over the weekend and hit 2 doubles yesterday, and it's gone 2 for 2 tonight. So, with Acuna going down, Strider going down, bringing up some young. Our big prospects are pitchers. That's the Braves are known for being great developers of pitchers, and so we've got 2 prospects that we have called up to Atlanta to fill in. They're doing pretty good. I mean, they're young, so they make stupid mistakes. But let me throw this straight down the middle. That guy hit 45 home runs last year. Okay, might not want to do that.
How's Chris Sale doing?
Yeah. Chris Sale is probably going to make the All-Star team.
Yeah.
I would.
That's how it goes. Yeah.
That dude just knows how to win. He's been around so long that he doesn't get rattled. He doesn't. If I got 2 men on, 1 out, I'm good. Just let me get some pitch to contact and get a double play ball, get out of it. I've got remember our entire infield last year made the All-Star team. So our infield's pretty good. So if you pitch to contact, which Chris Sale, but I didn't realize, I didn't pay much attention to him, other than, Sports Center and stuff like that, but how good of a slider or breaking stuff he has. I always knew he had a pretty good fastball, but because he's so tall, but he is just an older version of Max Fried, because they're breaking, and we got him pitcher back to back, which isn't fair, but, his breaking stuff has been what has impressed me. I mean, I think Chris Sale, they call him a pitch to contact pitcher, but I think he's a strikeout pitcher. I mean, he always has, 6, 7, 8 strikeouts, and then, so I think he's still. I think he's a good addition. We'd be screwed if we didn't have him.
Do you guys want a score update on the Florida Panthers game?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Edmonton's up 3-1.
Okay.
Are they in Edmonton?
They're in Fort Lauderdale.
Man. Well, they're in the second period. There's still 10 minutes left in the second period. So
Okay.
there's time.
Well, they were scoring at will the other night.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it was like having just something on in the background. I mean, it was just like, can they get to 10? I don't think I've seen a hockey game where they got to 10.
I'm talking about Edmonton?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Florida just kind of rolled over and
It was 3 minutes. 3 minutes have gone by in the second period, and they changed goalies.
they pulled their goalie out. Yeah.
Well, they didn't pull the goalie because I'd learned that means something different.
Oh.
Pulling the goalie means you don't have a goalie.
All right, you put another guy
They,
on the.
they changed the
subbed him
goalie.
out, yeah.
Yeah, because I use the term, hey, they pulled the goalie. What? They're pulling the goalie? What? And then I was corrected by saying you pull a goalie to put another skater on the ice. So, yeah.
So you
Right.
can operate with
Yeah.
more guys trying to score.
And I think it's amazing these people that correct me, they actually think I give a fuck. You know what I'm
About
saying?
hockey, yeah.
I mean, seriously. I mean, it's not even a real sport. You know, you bring it down here. If you play it, you play it outside in Florida. It's just like swimming.
Okay.
So let's talk a little more baseball because the College World Series, Florida State won.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So Florida State now has
Plays
to
Tennessee.
go, and they have to beat Tennessee twice to get to the final
I
because
don't
it's
know.
double
So-
elimination.
I'm looking at that. So Tennessee already lost once.
No, they didn't. They shouldn't have.
They did lose.
To who?
Tennessee lost to. I'm looking. Wait, let me see. Tennessee did not lose. Yep.
No.
So
no. Florida State has to beat them twice.
yep, they have to beat them twice.
So if Tennessee wins, Florida State's out. And if Florida State wins, I guess they would play tomorrow or the next day.
So they
Because-
play. Yeah. So Tennessee. Yeah, you're right. Florida State's got to beat Tennessee twice. If Florida wins and beats Kentucky tomorrow, they play at 11 a.m. If they win, they beat Kentucky. Kentucky's out. Then they got to play Texas
A&M.
A&M again.
Yep.
If they win, Texas A&M is out. So
we have to
Florida
beat
would-
Texas A&M twice.
Right.
Yeah.
Texas
Right.
A&M has lost to Florida once.
No,
So
they
if
didn't. Florida lost to Texas A&M in game 1.
the first one, that's right.
3-2.
And then they beat Texas. Yeah, so you would have to beat Texas A&M twice.
Right.
Yep.
And then the winner of but we got to play Kentucky first. Kentucky's number 2 in the country,
Yeah.
you know. And
Yep.
and we only lost to Texas A&M by 1 run.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then barely they caught it,
Yeah.
Could have hit it a
I
little
mean,
harder.
yeah. So if if that happens, I'll tell you this: baseball is a funny game. Don't bet against a hot team. Florida wasn't
Yeah.
even supposed to be there. We're playing with house money.
Yeah, but it could work out to be a Florida State. I mean, a
That
lot
would-
could happen, but it could work. It could be funny if that would work out.
That would be awesome. I'll tell you,
Is Tennessee the number 1 team?
Tennessee is good.
Yeah.
They are very good.
Yeah.
They have just got like Florida has arguably. I mean, everybody says Florida has the best player in college baseball with Jack Caglione, who hit 34 home runs, in the regular season. This dude just hit a home run whenever he wants to, but if you give me an aluminum bat, I can hit it far too. But but we have one of those guys. Tennessee has like 7 of those guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, when they played Florida, and Florida State's got like 5 of those guys. Make no mistake, Florida State is a great baseball team.
Yeah.
A great baseball team. They shelled the Gators, just like Tennessee did, just like Kentucky did, just like Texas A&M did, all season long. That's why, I mean, if you look at the top 10 in the country, Tennessee, Kentucky, Texas A&M, but you forget Arkansas was number 6. They got eliminated in the regional. I mean, we had these top 10 teams, and we have to play Florida State out of conference because they're a rival. Florida is battle tested.
Yeah.
So when we get to play a little rinky-dink pussy team like Clemson, who thought they were 6th in the country, when we played them, but that Tennessee Florida State game, I watched every bit of that the other night, and I think it was Friday night, and I mean that thing went. I think the final score was 11-9, and bottom of the ninth walk off.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Isn't it funny to see what teams are, what sports are good at different things? Like, you don't see like Ohio State and Michigan and things like that in baseball. You just don't see it.
yeah, I mean, I think there's only been 3 or 4, maybe 5 schools that have won football championship, basketball championship, and a baseball championship. And Florida's one of them. You know, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure UCLA is one of them too.
Yeah, I mean,
You
you just don't see it. You know, you would think like Iowa or something like that would be a big baseball. You would
You know who
think,
you know who used to be good? It was the Wichita State Shockers.
yeah,
The
yeah, Kansas
Shockers.
is, I would
The
think, yeah. Oh
Shockers.
boy, yeah, I would think, you know, you know, but Midwest, you would think baseball would be big, but I just you just don't see it. But SEC, you definitely see it in SEC.
Well, you get to
Th-
play all year.
Hey,
Yeah,
thank you, Sleevey. No one likes Clemson anyway.
yeah.
They wear purple. Yeah,
Tuesday.
purple is stupid. Yeah,
I
they
do
have
have to
this.
say the FSU, their uniforms though, man, when they wear that, you know, baseball's the only sport that the manager wears the uniform.
Okay, you don't like that?
I mean, I guess you could say NASCAR. I guess they're wearing it too, but that's a pit crew? I guess the manager, but
Well, in the NFL, all the coaches wear the same thing.
yeah, but they're not wearing they're not
I
wearing
know,
the
and they're
same
not. Well,
uniform.
they're not wearing pads and shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean,
but
they're all like if you look at the coaches, they all got like the khakis and like
yeah,
the
yeah.
polo. They have
And that
their
feels so
uniform.
But it
Yeah,
feels
I
so
mean,
odd if you went to a football game and the coach was wearing a full padded uniform.
Can
it
you
would be so
imagine
funny.
how big Andy Reid would look? You know, I mean, they'd be like, here, you know, they would have to get him driven in on the wide load, you know, that thing that hogs up the interstate.
Yeah, I still laugh every time when they show the punt, pass, and kick, and Andy Reid's like 8 feet tall over everybody else. He's like 12 years old, and he's 6 feet tall or whatever. They show it every time. It's pretty funny, but
So on this question here, only three teams in the NCAA. Well, I know Florida's one of them, and I'm pretty sure UCLA is another one of them.
It might. I don't know if Oklahoma's ever won a basketball title.
It might be Ohio. It might be Ohio State.
Could be Ohio State.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. I find that hard to believe. UCLA's won a national championship in football.
USC?
No, UCLA. Sorry, they've won a
No,
national
right.
championship in football. They've won multiple in basketball, and they've been in the College World Series like 19 times.
Yeah. Well, okay. What else? So here's we'll move on. I mean, we'll figure it out. Whoever. It
No,
is, but
I don't.
hey,
I don't. Again, you're confusing me with somebody that gives a fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
I just know that Florida's done it.
It-
You know, back-to-back basketball championships.
Good for them.
Michigan.
Florida, Michigan, and Iowa State. There you go. Fantastic. Great.
I'm glad we got that out of the way.
That's great. All right. So, have you all been watching the Olympic trials?
I watched the swimming.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a lot of what's on right now.
I haven't seen that. Haven't seen.
Thanks, Sleevey.
The track and field trials were on while we were in Orlando, so kind of. But I didn't get to see. That is my between track and field and swimming. Those are my two favorite things to watch in the Olympics. But I just have not been able to watch the trials.
Yeah. There's some fun ones. I mean, the swimming definitely is. I like the swimming. It's kind of nice. We know a couple people that are associated with it, so that makes it a little bit more fun. But I definitely like it. There's been some world records that have been broken, which is kind of cool.
During the trials.
Yep. Yep.
Boy, which means at the Olympics they're going to get broken again, probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be crazy.
Weather dependent, of course, but
No, it's indoors.
the track is.
The course, the aquatic center is indoors.
Oh, okay.
He's talking about world records in swimming.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm backwards. Sorry.
Yep. Yep. But for the track, I don't know if anything has been happening for the track yet. But
Did you happen to watch the breaking?
the breaking.
Yeah, the break dancing.
No, I don't think anything has been on yet on the breakdancing. I don't know if I've seen anything there. I've seen commercials for it.
What
but-
about that game where you kick the soccer ball onto a ping pong table? Have you seen
Is
that?
that in the Olympics?
You know,
I know what you're talking about, but I haven't seen anything
you know.
of the sort. But
Or what about the game where you whack the shuttlecock?
Badminton.
badminton.
Have you seen
Interesting.
professional badminton players?
Oh, dude, it's awesome.
They
It's
really get
incredible.
into it. They get in. So here was the
Sorry,
question,
I just
and
like saying whack the shuttlecock.
Yeah, I
whack
figured you did.
that. Okay, well, keep that in mind. So
I know
keep that in mind
it.
because that's going to come back up at the end of the show. Um, so
Here's an Olympic sport that Sleevey G is claiming is that you need to go watch while you're in
No.
Paris.
no,
No, okay, no, all right.
Well,
I
they
am
don't
going
drink beer
to,
in Paris. They drink wine.
they do a lot of it. I'm going to go to the Olympic Village and treat it. I'm going to try to find Dong Dong.
Dong dong.
The
If
Dong
you
Dong.
do find him, get
I'm
his
taking
autograph.
a picture. I am taking a picture.
I want an autograph. I want to see it.
I'm gonna yell Dong Dong. A big fan of the Dong Dong. I'm gonna have a sign. I love the Dong Dong. It'd be just hilarious. Stand outside the village. I love the Dong Dong. Somebody get me the Dong Dong.
So give us a little bit of a layout of what you're going to be doing while you're.
Oh man, so it's crazy. I mean, we're doing a little bit of a tour beforehand, and yeah, we're doing a little bit of a European vacation, if you will, beforehand. But once we get to the Olympics itself, we're going to the opening ceremonies, which is going to be crazy because it's the first time it's on the river. It's on the Seine. So it goes right through the whole city and marches right through Paris, which is going to be pretty cool. We're keeping track of the torch right now, so it's kind of cool. On the app, you can keep track of the torch and everything like that, so it's kind of neat. We're watching basketball. We got a couple basketball games. We see France play twice, which, when you bought the tickets, you never knew who was going to play. So we're just like, okay. And if we saw USA play, great. But we see France play Japan, so who knows how that's going to go. But I think pros are on the team no matter what. I don't know if any pros are on the
France
Japanese
has a good
team,
I
but
think France has a decent team. So,
but we'll see basketball, so it'll be fun. We're going to a bunch of swimming events, so that'll be fun. We'll have a couple days of swimming and see some finals and medal ceremonies and fun stuff like that. So that should be fun. And then we have one day at track and field. So that should be fun too. But the option came up, and the question was, should we go and get tickets for beach volleyball? And I'm like, yeah, I think we should. I think it's
Hell yeah! Hey, how is that even a decision?
I'm like, yeah, we
where are they
should.
playing that at?
But here's the thing.
On the beach.
They're playing
Paris,
it,
there's no
and
beach.
right in front of the Eiffel Tower. They build a huge beach volleyball court right in front of the Eiffel Tower, which is awesome. But here's the thing. It's like at midnight. So it starts at midnight, and I'm like, so we looked at the time, and I'm like, do I want to go at midnight and watch it till like 2 a.m? And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that.
What do you think, Keb?
Yeah, you do.
I'm like, well, and I'm like, is it? So then my next question was, is it men's or is it women's? And my wife was like, I think it might be both. And I said, doesn't matter. Like,
Well, you know what's cool? I mean, watching the women, they're probably better players. They're certainly more fun to watch for other reasons.
Yeah.
But especially at beach volleyball with the height of that net, watching the guys just hammer that ball.
No, I'm
I mean, you got these indoor players who are playing outdoors on a lower net, and I mean, just killing that ball.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I would be. So we're gonna see, and but I think that if there's going to be any extra tickets that we buy, I think that's going to be the one that we would do, because I'm with you. I don't care what it is. I think that's it. I think it would be fun to see. But the other thing,
rowing might be interesting to watch.
No, there's some things, and I mean, I looked at some other things that were there, and it's like, I don't know. I don't need to see Gymnastics, I don't care about. I mean, I know whatever. I just don't care about it.
Why
So
not?
it just doesn't thrill me. I mean,
You don't like the all around?
no.
What about the rings?
Don't get me wrong. It's impressive. Everything they do is impressive, but I just don't know if I could sit there and watch
Can I tell you my favorite part of gymnastics?
artistic floor dance. I know,
No,
absolutely.
it's when, and you see it a lot in qualifying. It's when they bust their fucking ass on that balance beam.
Oh God,
That's my
yeah.
favorite part. You
The
know,
spills are spectacular.
Man, like watching them on the bar, that's pretty dramatic. You know what I'm talking about? Where they're swinging around and letting
yeah,
go and then catching themselves, or
yeah.
the one where they're running down the long path and then they
The
jump
pommel
and
horse.
the whatever it is. Yeah, is it the pommel horn? Anyway, that's pretty dramatic. I feel like
Yeah.
that would be fun to watch.
do you guys remember an old '80s movie called American Anthem?
I just was gonna bring it up. I was just gonna bring that up. That's a great movie. It
You
is a
know, where
great
he's on the
movie.
pole and he just keeps going around
It
and
is a
going around and
great
going
movie.
around. And you're like, dude, is this dude ever gonna jump?
God,
You know,
wasn't that
I don't
Gretzky's
know if
wife?
I don't know if I would use the term great movie,
Wasn't
but
that
I mean it was entertaining for
wasn't
an
it
'80s movie.
Gretzky's wife?
I don't know. I don't know.
Mitch something
Okay.
the guy. But he was a real. They were real.
Had a bunch of B actors that doubled as extras in a movie called Iron Eagle. You know,
Yeah.
Iron Eagle, yeah.
that's a great movie
Or
too.
was it Paulina? Paulina something. Paulina.
Who knows?
Golly, now you got me thinking. But
Well, you do a whole nailed it on American Anthem.
oh
It's
God,
cool.
I might. That might have to be
Yeah.
my.
I just
my-
know if
my-
if there's anybody in the world that's ever seen that movie, it's you.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He goes out in the woods
Yeah.
and puts up a bar and
Yeah.
cool. Oh man, now you got me thinking about it.
Yeah, here's St. Joe afterwards is gonna get on Amazon.
I'm going
$2.99
to-
on Amazon.
I'm
Yeah.
going to watch it. We're watching
Purchase.
this movie. That's hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, but it's fun. It should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be we'll have seen a winter and a summer now, so it'll be fun. But yeah, I'll be curious to see what the boy thinks about it when he gets back. But
Boy, I'll tell you what, that's a good opportunity. That's pretty cool. That's pretty freaking cool to go
Yeah,
do
man.
that. So
it'll be fun.
send us pictures, I guess, if it doesn't charge you
Yeah,
international.
you never know. I might if I can work it out. There's maybe I'll figure out how to call in or do something. But we'll see.
Either that or just record it and then shoot it to
Yeah,
one of us and we'll make sure it gets on.
yeah, be all good. But what else? Anything else during the? I'm trying to think of anything else during this week. There was golf, baseball, hockey, basketball. Who cares? Olympics. Anything else coming up?
Well,
I
you know,
would
that-
like to
go ahead.
go ahead. Okay. I would like to commend the NCAA on allowing Florida State to play in the College World Series.
Oh yeah, because they got screwed.
I imagine.
Wasn't sure that was
if
gonna
you-
happen or
if you
not.
Play your way in. We were talking earlier, Beeps, that real quick. I don't want to take too much time, but the NCAA has it down when it comes to the baseball and the basketball playoff system. Okay, they need to fix football.
Well, it sounds like they're attempting to.
Well, it better be exciting, like the basketball and the baseball are. I know 4 people watch the baseball, but I'm one of them. And I mean it's pretty. It's pretty good. I mean, you have to be, if you look at all 3 levels of the baseball playoffs, the regional, super regional, and then Omaha, you have to be beaten twice in every level. Twice in the regional, and then it's a 3-game set, so you got to be beaten twice. You got to be beaten twice in the super regional because it's the best of 3, against 2 teams, and then you got a double elimination in Omaha. It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
I find that it's more like that's never going to work with football. But
No, I know. I mean, it's more of a baseball thing to play in series, but in football, you just need more teams. Give more
it's
teams.
actually a lot. It's actually a lot. It's a lot like the Euros. But I didn't want to bring up soccer, so
Ugh, yeah. There's a lot going on with soccer right now, but yeah.
it's all like there's gigantic tournaments all over the place. So
Hey, one other thing. One other thing. Did you see the Kansas City Chiefs get
oh
their ring
yeah. Oh no, I didn't see that. But did you guys know that they're in negotiations to move stadiums in
to actually Kansas City?
move it into Kansas? Yeah. Did you see
They
that?
no, no. But did you see their ring?
No, I didn't.
It's giant, right? But did you see the mistake?
Oh.
They got all the ring and everything like that, and on the inside of the ring, they put the seeds of everybody they played and the score and everything like that. And they listed Miami as a number 7 seed, but they were actually a 6. So
Interesting.
all that money that they spent on everybody's ring and everything, and they
Gotta
made
go
a
fix
boo-boo,
that.
and
Yeah.
they're on it. But just it adds to the mystique of the ring, I guess, and everything like that. But that thing was huge, and yeah, and then yeah, that leads me into the other thing is that Travis Kelsey and Taylor. Did you see him pointing to? He put the rings on his fingers, and then he left his ring finger empty, and he pointed to it and said, "There's one more ring I need. It's coming up. It's coming up."
Talk about pop culture per second. Did you guys see today that Justin Timberlake got arrested for DUI?
Yes, I saw
He did?
the photo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got arrested. What's funny because my wife just went to see him in Tampa last Friday.
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
and anyhow, he had to go see the judge, and he asked the judge, "Hey, when can I drive again?" And the judge said it's going to be May.
Oh Jesus, here we go.
I knew that was coming. Speaking of those jokes, I thought we were going to get a couple St. Joe from you.
Yeah, but um, I speaking of May, I just kind of a bad tie-in, but this just came across the ticker. Willie Mays, one of baseball's greatest players, died
No.
at the age of 93.
No way.
Yeah,
For real?
yeah, for real. Breaking news: Willie Mays dead at the age of 93.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. Yeah.
not to put a damper on that joke, but yeah, that just came across as we were talking. That
Jeez.
San Francisco Giant great Willie Mays dies, but
Yeah.
that's sad. But a lot of sports, and that's one of the greats right there.
I said
Yeah.
he might have been the second best baseball player ever.
What other behind Pete Rose?
Yeah, well, I don't know. One of the ESPN guys, Tim Kirkjian, was saying Willie Mays is the second best player he had ever seen play. I don't know who the other guy was.
If
Well-
you're listening to Tim Kirchin,
You should be.
No, Tim Kirchin's an idiot. Buster Olney's way smarter.
But you know what?
Jeff Passan is my guy though.
I think that leads perfectly into the very special day that it is tomorrow, National Martini Day. So have a martini in remembrance of Willie Mays.
Well, all right.
Beebs, what you got going on finding your way this week?
You're gonna have to tune in to
You're
find
gonna
out.
have to tune in to listen to a rerun. Yeah. I get it. Well, at least on the reruns though, you do do a lead in,
Yeah,
right?
I still do a lead in. Yeah,
Yeah. So, what's
and
going on?
you had plenty of time last week on the rerun. It actually got you back to your house or whatever, right? It was
Well,
long enough.
it's the summer. I don't have that drive during the summer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't get during the summer. I don't get in the car until about 8:30. So if I gotta get to a 9 o'clock appointment.
Yeah.
But St. Joe, what you got going on? Nailed it, and show me your trips.
One slip of the tongue. I I've got,
That's happened many times. Yes.
it has. It has. I still think that's a great shirt. I need to get that. Show me your trips. It's got, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's the hottest travel podcast out there.
Now,
It's
is
doing
it
well.
available to have guests on?
So I might have, travel bloggers, things like that, maybe a little bit, but I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. It's doing really well. It's doing really good right now.
You
They're
know
all
who you
under,
should get as a podcast guest on Show Me Your Trips is Captain Sandy from Below Deck.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. That'd be fun. She
You
would be
know,
awesome.
She got a
Yeah,
house
I don't
here.
know. I'm gonna see. Maybe that may be a good. Everybody had a question about Patreon and stuff like that. That might be a perfect thing to do for like an extra episode, is have something and have a guest on. So that could be a perfect avenue for that. Who knows? But we'll see. We'll see. But nailed it.
What's your rank on Good Pods with that?
Oh man, I need one more to be all number ones. I'm number two and like I don't know, some little one, but I'm all number ones right now.
You know what? It is hard, goddamn work being all number ones.
I mean,
it
you should
is
know.
hard,
You
goddamn
should
work.
know. You should
You
know.
know what I'm saying? Because I absolutely do nothing.
Call me when you're number one overall. You got to beat that sword in the stone or whatever it is.
I just think it's hilarious that the one that's number one is a religious podcast.
I tell you what,
I think that's hilarious. Have you ever listened to that podcast?
Yes, but if everybody in the network,
I fell asleep.
If everybody in the network would 1 week actually go in, rate your podcast, and listen to it, I guarantee you would be number one.
So
that's
you're saying
how easy.
So what St. Joe is saying is it's the network's fault?
No. I'm just saying that we could easily make you number one for the week.
Hang on, I'm not done backing you into a corner here. I'm just
I'm just saying we could make you number one. We could easily make you number one.
You know what? I would rather one of you guys be number one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The
purpose,
you're number one in our hearts, Kev.
The purpose of my show is to maybe put a smile on somebody's face.
Yeah,
that's the purpose of my show. I think being number one is a lot more important to other people than to me.
Yeah. Hey, it's all good.
Well, we like to we like to put people's smiles on people's face for this show, Keb.
Oh yeah, that's why I do it.
Yeah.
But it's a different type of smile. It's just like, oh God, I can't believe you said that.
Yeah.
Is this the same dude that's on the Stupid History Minute?
Yeah, it is.
It is. You know what? To my credit, I used to be way worse.
To your
used
credit.
To
I used to be way worse.
Used to be?
Oh boy, it's all good. But
I mean, there's two words that I haven't said in a long time. Can I say them?
No, you don't need to.
Yeah, I remember one time I screamed one and almost made St.
Joe like, no.
You mean that was hilarious. That's a good episode. We gotta find that episode and call it.
I took it down. It's gone. It only exists on my flash drive.
That was a funny episode.
However, I have it actually a file on my phone, like a just a audio
you should
file.
Make that your ringtone. That's hilarious.
I remember when you guys listened in St. Joe's, like I almost drove off the road.
I did. I literally almost drove off the road. I'm like, I can't believe you said that. I laughed. I'm like, this is crazy. But yeah, that was funny. But Nailed It is a special shout out for Mama D. So when it comes out next Monday, it will be a special edition for Mama D.
Now, before we wrap it up here, we need to give a shout out to the Sleevy G show because he's the only person out of the 12 who've been watching to actually comment. So Sleevy G, thanks for watching. Y'all should go over and watch the Sleevy G show.
We got one goddamn commenter.
Yeah.
You can't say that on the podcast.
No, but hey guys, are we finished?
I feel
like we've talked ourselves out already.
Yeah, I think we could.
Yeah, I don't have anybody else to piss off. How about you guys?
Try not general rule. Try not to do that.
But sometimes, look here, man. I've been accosted today, you
Oh.
know, and I've been unappreciated, you know.
Hey, what does your license plate read, Keb? He knows right where I'm going with this.
Did I tell you that story, Beeves?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not telling. Did I tell you that, Beeves?
I want to
NZ.
say yes, so you don't, go on like a 10-minute, tirade.
Okay. You know
I think
what?
it fits in perfectly.
Tune in next week. Tune in next week, and we'll start it off with the story.
All right.
You know, I mean, I could do it without cursing. It's a PG-13 story, and it's just how it is how fucking stupid people in this world are, and that what everybody doesn't understand is that when they pull up next to me in Hulk for me to roll down my window,
Yep.
what is probably going to come out of my mouth is they're not going to like. Okay,
All right.
and this is a true story. You know, I thought for certain I told you, Beebs, but we'll tell it next week. We'll tell it next week. Remind me. We'll tell it next week. But I told it. I told it to St. Joe. You can see what's happening to St. Joe here. I told him, and he was just. I was just like, hey, are you okay? You know, because and you know what? I've got a witness too, because the soon-to-be world famous wife was in the passenger seat.
It's just one of those phone calls.
Yeah, you're just like, you're not going to believe me.
You're not going to fucking believe this.
You're not going to believe me. You're not. I've told it. I'm actually working on making it a part of my set, and they're like, that didn't happen to you. It absolutely happened to me. You know.
Oh,
but,
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good tease. All right.
You know, so anyhow, next week we'll do that. Go check out our friends over at unfpod.com. And we do have, give a shout out to our new show, Sass and Sips. Did I get that right? I'm pretty sure. Agnes and Lisa, we're glad to have you aboard. But we got a bunch of other great shows. Something for everybody over there. So go check it out, unfpod.com, at unfpod on Twitter or X or whatever the fuck we're calling it these days. But you know, we're watching the College World Series. We're watching the. Can we get a hockey update real quick?
Yeah, hold on. Here we go. It's now 4-2.
Okay, 4-2 Edmonton.
Edmonton. Period
Okay,
3 is just getting ready to start.
So with the way they play defense and the way that Florida seems to play offense now, we're probably looking at in Game 6, I would gather, you know, and that'll be back in Edmonton, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know why they take 3 fucking days in between games in hockey. It's just stupid. But anyhow, go check out our friends over at unfpod.com, and if there's nothing else, for St. Joe, for Beebs, my name is Kev, and we will catch you guys next week.
Catch you on the flippity flop.